Are you ready to pause?
Are you ready to listen, bro? I'm back. I'm a loudmouth as ever, confident as whoever, and I got a lot to say. Put it this way. There's no reason why I shouldn't be on here. There's no reason why I should be giving a fuck about anything anyway I have to say. Now, following one person on here, no one else. Cut the bullshit now. But yeah, man. Let's just put it out there. Because Barry Peters is the thing. That's one. Two, there's a lot of men out here who have under 5 inches of penis. I mean, in any given situation, I might have under 5 inches of penis. Whether from hard or not, like different situations cause for different types of blood pressure. Listen, anybody older knows. You're younger, you're stiffer, your erections are bigger. This conversation is about 50 Cent, it's about Diddy. It's about size queens, and it's about being honest with yourselves. There's a great portion of the population that is not girthy and not lengthwise blessed when it comes to their member. We all know big dicks are not a commonality in men. And why most men know this is because they've heard women talk about it. Now, all men don't know what other men normally pack, but most men know if they have, something small. So, yeah, I'm going to be honest and say a lot of men use that as a driving point. A lot of men in power, I've heard, are not holding like that. I've heard that, proportional wise, shorter, quote unquote, thicker men don't normally possess members. A lot of times people that are really built and people doing roids and shit like that, cocky motherfuckers, don't have a lot of dick. And women know this. Women know the type, and women also know what types of body types are more likely to have bigger dicks. Alright? Now, tall guys, not always a guarantee. Why are we talking about dick size? Because we're talking about confidence, and we're talking about, is it right to make fun of other people for not having shit when you don't have shit either? Let's be honest. There's men out here who, and I was one, who pride themselves by what they had to offer essentially. And without me knowing, I was always a grower and somebody who could outperform, I guess, guys who have been with certain females. Like, my whole phase, there was a lot of women who would tell me, like, damn, you do this, you do that. And I was always explaining that I could hold it down and that I wasn't as well as I might think I am, because I always said shit, like, I know I'm not the biggest or whatever. And some women would say, yo, that shit hurt me, or, you big enough, like, you know what I'm saying? You bigger than what I've had, or I've never had one that big, or whatever. You hear that shit. And you may not know, especially if you're not watching porn, so you may not know if you're not acting like that. But if you can wrap 4 fingers around it, and it's basically gone, or your whole hand, and it's not much after that, maybe the dickhead, and that's it, then you don't have a big dick. You don't. Just don't. And most guys don't got the ruler. Most guys don't got a whole fucking 9-10 inches or whatever. But the thing is, most women, especially in this day and age, crave the size, right? Now, you like me or like some men, you may be endowed in other parts of your anatomy, or even in, your dick size, where you might be longer than some guys, you might be thicker than some guys. But my thing is that I've noticed a perpetuating of cruelty and negativity for men who are not holding. Trafficking, all kind of gross shit is going on with these men who don't feel adequate. And it's not just, a thing, it's a big deal. And I'm here to say, I don't have a big dick. And that's okay. Maybe a normal size thing, maybe a little smaller, maybe a little bigger than some guys in certain aspects. I've heard I'm girthy, whatever, boy. But maybe not poor, maybe just it is what it is. And we're grown-ups. And we gotta talk about the trauma in the community and how it makes it easier to traffic. It makes it easier to, manipulate in a way that's sexual, in a way that's, you feel me, predatory, in a way where, like, you're sitting there, like, really judging things in a certain way and like moving a certain way towards females, but like you're trying to get a leg up, you're trying to look a certain way of attractive, you're trying to speak a certain way, you're trying to keep secrets, lie, cheat, steal. All this is predatory. All these things don't all be predicated behind not having the confidence of having a certain size, but sometimes guys have more size than normal and not know how to do anything with it. I heard that you're very good at sex, but I've had men that are way bigger than you and they can't do this and they can't do that. So size is not everything. The thing is, with the male confidence, the male ego, it's always gonna be a thing. It's always gonna be a thing. It's always gonna be a thing for a reason. And the reason is self-confidence is everything. Self-esteem is everything. And people act like it's not. People, behave like being happy, being confident is not the same thing. But yes, to feel assured is to feel safe. And to feel safe is to feel peaceful. So, we gotta speak about the male psychology behind this inadequacy that some men feel and how it proliferates all the facets of their lives and their cruelty towards others and their behavior towards the ones that they love. Like, honestly, some men may be in pain just out of the thought of people knowing how much they have to offer and not offer. Like, I've gone through different things where you maybe mess with a girl over the course of years. And, like me, I fluctuate my weight. I'm not able to perform the same when I'm bigger. Or becoming bigger has buried it somewhat or made it, more, like, I guess, appear smaller or, may not last longer. Like, all these things have to do with determination and, will and a lot of things. If not consistent, affect not only what you have, but how you can use it. So it's not really always up to the person, but also the best case scenario is going to always come with the best level of hygiene, of self-care, of, dignity and self-worth. I've noticed that as well. So less exposure leaves you more willing and more able to be happy. So when you become promiscuous at a younger age, all these things come into your mind, size, and once you expose yourself to them type of people as well, now y'all both have been there, done that with many people. Now, yeah, certain things are not about romance. Certain things are not about, being objective and just seeing what happens and seeing what feelings arise. A lot of things are physical. A lot of things are calculated. And it becomes disingenuous when you look at the culture now. Things are not about anything but numbers. And it's like, bro, your feelings, it's gone. Romance gone. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you go write a nice poem or give a girl some flowers you picked or, treat a girl to some ice cream, to a hot dog or whatever, a fucking burger or anything simple like that. Go to the corner store and get a sandwich. Like, you can't expect a woman to fall in love with you for in any kind of fashion that way, right? But when you have some confidence, and a lot of times when you don't have that defeatist mindset of someone who feels inadequate, you can behave and perform differently. Look, I believe that without all of that, clearing my psyche up, well, a lot of things got opened up once I had a kid, but before any of that, my soul was open. I was clear of weed. I was clear of a lot of things when I finally got my baby was pregnant. But what happens is, you learn, like I said, later on in life, when you do drugs, when you put yourself in certain positions, when you put your body through certain types of things, what you're able to do, what you got changes. So you learn, what's important. And in the end, when you base everything off of power, look at 50's book, Power. Look at fucking the freaking show, Power. Look at fucking how Diddy was. To me, a lot of people say that Power was made to resemble Diddy's life, and Diddy resented 50 for that, or 50 resented how Diddy could move on. Whatever. To me, Kanan was 50, and St. Patrick is Sean. See, because if you look at a lot of what is relative, a lot of what went on, a lot of what's going on seems like hyper similar. Like the thing with St. Patrick having a white friend, I don't think that was made up. I think if it would have been a big black guy, immediately he would have looked like this. So I think it was a shot in the dark to make him white, but keep him way more gangster, way more to the street. But to make them grow up together, like in the series, if you know about Power and different things like that, I think it was more of a generic connection, more like something like Little C's and Biggie, kind of like it made them brothers. So if you look at the parallels and later on how they both conduct themselves, you know, he was way more street. He was so connected to the street, even though, you know, this guy was connected. He was connected on the violence side. St. Patrick was connected on the violence side, whereas the hood side, the dealing side, that's where the friend was from. And like I said, I believe a lot of things mirrored Diddy's life. Even down to like the way he treated his wife, like the domestic violence, like wanting to be with, you know, women outside of the demographic or whatever, how he literally fell in love with a Latina and things like that. Like a lot of things favored Sean's life. And like I said, he has like a European sounding name, Sean Combs. Look at, you know, James St. Patrick. Look at 50's name, right? He has Curtis. Look at fucking Big's name, Christopher Wallace. You know, and to me, it just always came off like 50 and Diddy had this underlying beef between each other. And when you meet people in certain circles, you start dating certain women, you start to realize that certain things happen, like backbiting. Was that they find out a female dated somebody you dislike, you talk about it and you demean them. Dirty talking is pillow talking. It is if you're trying to block a man from getting back into the bed with the woman you're talking to. And what you realize is that men really are catty, and men are way worse when it comes to the way they deal with their emotion when it has to do with another man and a female. We will get violent quickly, and we will get protective in a way where we might have tossed the girl to the street and not care what it was, but because this is a female that knows this person from the onset, it's like a connection there that shouldn't be there because the man and the other man are like almost in this affair of negative emotion, right? Where they're not keen on anything going to the person instead of them. And in that way, it's almost like jealousy. And when you're jealous of what? You wish you was in that position, right? What do you want from a person that is nothing to you, that is from the same sex, that wants nothing from you, that doesn't even, you know, socialize with you? So it's just to remind you of how some of that shit is erotic and how some of that heat and that shit is people being weird with their feelings. And I think they got some sort of weirdness with each other ever since, you know, he may have called 50 out on his sweetness. You know, you gotta ask yourself where some of that shit comes from with Fifth, where he's real angry, right? He's real angry, and what it seems is that he's more cruel than what he lets on. So he gives off this air of confidence that comes from bravery instead of coming from knowledge, right? But there's something to be said about keeping secrets. It's really like keeping a secret like a motherfucker, right? So I believe they have known things about each other, and I think that this is where the hate comes from. And I think the women could have and may have fueled it. But we don't know who did it, you know, touched or was in an intimate way in 50's life more than what we found out. And the same way it goes vice versa. We don't know if 50 was crushing Jones that was with Diddy first. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's a lot of he say, she say. But I have to speak on it and put it out there and say that neither man is right in my disposition in any way, in any case. I think all men are wicked, and I think that this world is wicked. So in looking at it, it's a grand illusion. It's a lot of moving parts that make it so that it looks like it's not on purpose. And there's a machine driving the narrative, right? Now this gets us out of the picture of the politics, gets us out of the picture of the things that are being stripped from us, or the prices of the things, and other bullshit. We maintain our conversation on these things, and instead of changing it, and instead of focusing on what laws are passing. So that's what I'm working for. To say inadequacy is one thing, but being a dumb fuck, that's something that we won't be able to live down. So stop worrying about your fucking Packers. Stop worrying about the next man. Stop playing the pause game and get your money up, not your funny up.